This lesson covers concealed health conditions. Safety is a big issue here, and most of them are already at the yellow light stage. So we need to work with them at their pace and also actively monitor them for red light symptoms. First is arthritis. These pets require a more gentle approach because they're usually experiencing some sort of pain. So again, they should be worked with at their pace. They need more time to get up from a position and can sometimes experience pain by transitioning to or from standing and sitting. Stiff limbs and joints can't bend as usual, and all aspects of their grooming needs to accommodate their specific range of motion and pain sensitivity. They don't respond well to any force being put on their bodies and can lash out or be injured easily. This includes making them stand or pushing them into a sitting position. Another area of arthritis could be in the back and neck. With this, you'd notice that the pet would be unable or unwilling to move their head in a certain direction, and it could be up or down, left or right. The older the pet, the more likely they are to have arthritis. And the larger the pet, the younger arthritis will affect them. Back problems or injuries. Keep a vigilant eye out for signs of distress and symptoms of pain or a reluctance to move. They require a gentle touch and minimized jostling. You want to keep your hands-on time to a minimum with these pets, and that'll help ensure that they're not being manipulated too much. Similar to arthritis, we have to be extremely gentle. And also the range of motion within their neck and tail can affect their back. They're often unstable, so be sure to always have them safely secured and have a hand on them. Blindness. These pets rely heavily on their remaining senses like hearing and touch. They can't see when you're getting ready to touch them, so approach with caution. You may need to pat or knock on the surface to forewarn them before picking them up so they don't get startled and lash out or bite from fear. When setting them down, make sure they're stable before removing your hands. And when they're transitioning, they can't even see a small lip in a kennel entrance. With these pets, I do recommend that the entire time you're working on them, keep a hand on them. That way they know where you are and they aren't blindsided every time you touch them. Congestive heart failure. This is a condition that requires constant monitoring. Common signs of distress include poor capillary refill, lethargy, shortness of breath, or commonly a chronic cough. They can overheat very easily, and no heat should be used when drying. They need to be kept calm and relaxed. If they're being treated for this condition, they may be getting a diuretic kind of medication. In this case, they will need to urinate frequently and should probably be getting potty walks. Deafness. When pets lose their hearing, sometimes it's not completely gone, and partial hearing loss is more common. A pet's hearing loss presents a situation where if a noise breaks through their hearing barrier, they're more likely to get surprised, shocked, or overstimulated, thus triggering a seizure. The most common culprit of this would be the decibels of a high-velocity dryer. The louder the dryer, the more likely this is to occur. Aged pets that have lost their sight and hearing are even more likely to have a seizure. In the event that this does happen, a dog will usually start barking uncontrollably. So you want to stop all noise immediately and call for help. Then proceed with seizure protocol. Seizures will be addressed below. Diabetes. This condition might require the grooming to be expedited because of the pet's need for insulin, food, water, and/or potty breaks. You should always keep a towel under them and watch for signs of needing to have a potty break and/or signs of distress. Hip dysplasia. Similar to arthritis, because of the associated stiffness and pain, these pets need a more gentle approach. Hip dysplasia and/or arthritis causes pain or discomfort from being stationary too long. Also from transitioning to or from a position and general mobility problems. Large dogs over 50 pounds are more prone to this. And if you assume that the ones that are more than 6 years old and are over 50 pounds will likely have hip dysplasia. This suggests to you a more fragile pet and you handle them in that manner, erring on the side of caution. If they're in the kennel for more than an hour, they need to have the opportunity to stretch their legs. They may not be comfortable laying down, sitting, or standing for long periods, and they should not be forced to do so any longer than they can tolerate. Transitioning from a sitting position can be painful and difficult, so never put any force on a pet with hip dysplasia. Their general mobility. Commonly, they're not able to navigate steps and require assistance with a transition in height up or down. They may be wobbly or have a hard time keeping their legs underneath their body. So for large dogs that are slip hazards, a rear support can be helpful when walking. You can use a long towel for this, or if the floor is smooth, I've found that slightly damp towels can be used on the floor to help them with a little traction so they can walk slowly and safely when moving from one space to another. Incontinence. Senior pets and puppies are more prone to this. The challenges with a weak bladder are easily remedied by frequent potty walks, using a towel under them during most of the grooming, and definitely while in a cage, plus a more expedited grooming experience. Seizures. Usually seen in senior pets and diagnosed seizure disorders. These can be caused by age, overstimulation, heat, fear, or anxiety. Usually a combination of these conditions compound on each other, and the more of these conditions, the more likely a seizure will occur. So keep stimulation to a minimum with a very calm, slow, gentle handling style and noise control. Keep heat to the absolute minimum tolerance for this pet. But in the event of a seizure, be sure to keep the pet and yourself safe. Dogs can bark uncontrollably. They can thrash, convulse, bite. They might even lose their bowels or bladder. Towels can help pad where they might be convulsing. They can help sop up urine and maybe even help you safely grasp the dog to help keep them safe. When keeping them safe, you may want to lower the pet onto the floor on some towels. A staff member who is canine safety certified should attend to this pet immediately. There's a lot of reasons why a pet might have a seizure, and overstimulation combined with high velocity dryer noise is the main cause in the salon. Tracheal collapse. These pets usually cough when any stressor is on their neck, and safety precautions include crossbody restraints and absolutely no choke-style loops, plus heightened monitoring of signs for respiratory distress like choking, gagging, or excessive coughing and wheezing.